The 2008 crisis and its ongoing impact. The global financial crisis of 2008 was one of the most significant economic events in recent history. It shook the foundations of the financial world, causing a ripple effect that reverberated throughout the global economy. While the crisis officially ended in 2009, its effects are still being felt today, more than a decade later. The roots of the crisis can be traced back to the subprime mortgage market in the United States. Lenders have been offering high-risk mortgages to borrowers who could not afford them, and these mortgages were then bundled together and sold as securities to investors around the world. When the housing market collapsed and homeowners began defaulting on their mortgages, the value of these securities plummeted, leading to massive losses for investors. The crisis quickly spread from the United States to the rest of the world, as banks and financial institutions began to fail, and governments scrambled to prop up their economies. In Europe, countries such as Greece, Portugal, and Spain were hit particularly hard, as their economies were already struggling before the crisis. In response to the crisis, governments around the world implemented various measures, such as stimulus packages and bailouts for struggling financial institutions. While these measures helped to prevent a complete collapse of the global economy, they also had long-term effects. One of the most significant effects of the crisis has been the slow recovery of the global economy. While some countries have managed to bounce back, many are still struggling with high levels of unemployment and stagnant growth. In the United States, for example, it took several years for the unemployment rate to return to pre-crisis levels, and even then, many people were forced to take lower-paying jobs or work part-time. Another long-term effect of the crisis has been the increased regulation of the financial sector. Governments and international organizations have implemented various measures to prevent a similar crisis from happening again, such as stricter lending standards and increased oversight of financial institutions. While these measures are necessary to prevent another crisis, they have also made it more difficult for some people to access credit, particularly those with lower incomes or poor credit histories. Finally, the crisis has had a profound impact on public trust in financial institutions and the government. Many people feel that the crisis was caused by greed and reckless behavior on the part of banks and other financial institutions, and that the government failed to protect them. As a result, there is a growing sense of cynicism and distrust among the public towards the financial sector and those in power. In conclusion, the 2008 financial crisis was a watershed moment in modern history, with far-reaching effects that are still being felt today. While the global economy has largely recovered, the crisis has left a lasting impact on the financial sector, the economy, and public trust. As we move forward, it is essential to learn from the mistakes of the past and work towards a more stable and equitable financial system that can withstand future shocks.